Hi everybody, I'm Suze Orman and you are watching The Suze Orman Show. Have you ever sat there and wondered, how did this all happen? Why did this all happen? What went wrong to get us to where we are today? Well, I think you need to know. So I'm going to show you exactly how we got here right now. Are you ready? Take a look. Let's first start with the good old days. How was it in the good old days? Well, let me show you. When a homeowner wanted to buy a home, they had a solid foundation under them. They literally wanted to buy a home, and in order to buy a home, guess what? They had money. They had money to put down. They had a 20% down payment. They had income. They had the ability to pay for that mortgage. So knowing that they had the ability to do so, they went to a bank. And the bank actually took the time to verify that the person buying the home actually qualified for the mortgage. And why did the bank care? The bank cared because they knew that they were going to be responsible. Once they gave the mortgage to that homeowner, guess what? They would know that they were responsible for that person paying that mortgage because they didn't want to be in the real estate business. They wanted to be in the business of lending money. So they made sure that they lent money to people who could afford to borrow money to buy a home. So once that happened, we had a very solid foundation, exactly like you just saw on your screen. It was like a pyramid. It was there. It wasn't going to tip over. There was really truth behind lending. But then the good old days went bye-bye. And then we came to what happened. Now, how did it work? Let me show you. The new type of days, which I'm calling the bad new days, is homeowner still wanted to buy a home. But when they went to buy a home and they got a mortgage from a bank, the bank did not care. The bank didn't have 15, 30-year fixed-rate mortgages like in the good old days. They created all kinds of mortgages, no money down, interest only, negative amortization. They didn't care who they were lending money to, and they didn't care how they were lending money. Now, the question has to be asked and answered. Why didn't they care? Well, I'll show you. They didn't care because they knew they were going to sell that mortgage off to another entity, the entity known as Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And you know what? Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac didn't care because why? They knew they were going to sell those mortgages. They were going to bundle them, $100 million at a time, and they were going to sell those mortgages off to who? To Wall Street. And Wall Street didn't care. And why didn't Wall Street care? Because they knew they were going to bundle those mortgages off and they were going to sell them to pension plans, investors, everybody throughout the world. Nobody cared because everybody was selling their mortgages off from one entity to another. But here was the problem. When that person at the bottom of that inverted pyramid, when that person had their mortgage rate increase, things started to happen to them so they couldn't afford that mortgage payment. Guess what? When that one person got into trouble, and it wasn't one person, it was millions of people that got those mortgages. When those millions of people weren't able to pay their mortgage, the entire thing came a-tumbling down. And that's exactly how we got into the situation that we're in today. So what should we have learned from all this? I'll tell you. It doesn't matter whether a mortgage company, a bank, an automobile company, a credit card company. It doesn't matter if somebody extends credit to you. What matters is, can you afford it or not? You have to do the homework. You have to be honest. You have to make sure that every step that you make from this day forward is a step in honesty, a step in the right direction. I know we're all feeling a little bit better, but we have a long way to go before all of this is solved. And what you can do to solve the problem a lot quicker for yourself is every move you make sure it's a move that you can afford.